Recently, I received a message on one of my social media channels regarding the concept of courage, especially the type of courage it takes to make a life-altering decision. I talk a lot about that kind of change, especially in the middle of one's life, midlife, prime time, if you will. And I made a huge change in my life during a time most people have settled down, accomplished what they wanted to do, and they're probably looking toward retirement. And here I am, upheaving everything and just going for it because I wasn't happy with my circumstances. So I write about it a lot. I talk about it a lot when I can. And today someone came to me on one of those channels and said, Pamela, this is the situation, and how do you make that decision? Where do you find the courage to make such a change so late in life? So I'm going to answer that at this point to the best of my ability, keeping in mind that circumstances are different for everybody. There's no one-size-fits-all answer or solution to this, because my circumstances, I'm sure, is different to their circumstances, as will be different to your set of circumstances, and outcomes will be different. But what I find is the same in all of these different instances is the willingness to consider a change. You know, as we grow up, our tendency or our willingness to consider making life-altering decisions become almost nil. We luxuriate in safety and security and knowing how things are going to turn out. We become soothsayers almost. We want to be able to see into the future to make sure we're going to make the right step forward and we're not going to be making mistakes, and forget about failure. Nobody wants to fail at this time of our lives. So we're very extra cautious when it comes to making decisions, especially big ones that might take you away from a job or a relationship or even an environment in which you live. So what did I tell them? I just said, you know, consider why you want to do this. What's bugging you about the situation? Is something not going right, or is something going wrong? You know, which is really the same thing. But what I want to say about that is something not going right, or are you looking to do something better with your life? Maybe it's a new job that you're looking for, or have received a great offer somewhere, maybe in another part of the world, which would require you, you know, taking up your life and pulling it apart and packing it up and moving it across the ocean or across the country. Or maybe you're in a bad relationship and it's time to move on. You just can't figure out how to get that done. So it takes a little bit of planning, but consider it. A lot of people will not consider making change, especially change that would make their lives better if they consider doing it. Now, how would I know that the change would make your life better? Your life could end up being worse if you took the move, right? I'm not, I can't read into the future. I can't read into my future. I can't read into your future. But I have a feeling that when you're thinking about the move that you're going to make, there's something about thinking about that, or the idea even came to you, which indicates that it is a better move for you. My litmus test is, if I'm not happy in the situation that I'm in, and I can't ever see myself being happy in that situation, it's time for a move. It's time to do something different. It's time to plan. So consider making the move, and then start making plans, make inquiries, phone calls, Google, ask friends, ask people that are already there or have already made the move what it was like. What do you have to consider? Because there's going to be all types of things that you may not have considered or thought about. Courage is something that comes alongside of you as you start making tiny steps forward. A tiny step might be making a phone call to someone that has done this already. It might be, like I said, Googling things and watching videos or reading books, or just doing your research so you can make that next move forward. I know a lot of people wait until there's no more fear. Well, you'll be waiting the rest of your life, because fear doesn't go away. Actually, it gets bigger the longer you wait to make a move about this thing. So to me, it's either consider and make a choice one way or the other, but don't consider and ruminate until the end of time, because that'll just get you sick. I ruminated about making a change in my life for over a decade, and the next thing that happened to me was illness. So, courage. It's something that I had to practice. Courage was something that I had to become friends with, and it was not comfortable. This is about the willingness to become comfortable with the state of uncomfortableness. Is that even a word? I'm not even sure. But you know what I mean. The problem with us adults is we want to have everything nicely lined up and a bow on top before we make a decision. And where did that even come from? I think our society is coddling us to the point where we don't even want to feel discomfort in any way. And I think that's a first world phenomenon for some reason, because most of the people on this planet live in a degree of discomfort every day of their life. Yet we don't want to make a move until all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed, and we have a guarantee at the end of the road somewhere, or we're just not making that move. And that's not how this has to be. You know, sometimes I consider when I'm trying to make a decision about something, I would look back on things I've done in the past or decisions I made in the past. Did I land on my feet with that decision? Did I make a good decision? It could be yes or no, but the fact is I landed on my feet. I'm still here, right? I'm still above ground. I haven't been damaged in any way. I might have made a mistake about something, but I did it, and that was experience. It was not a failure. So think back on the past successes you've had when you've made life-altering decisions, because you have made them. And you've lived through all the mistakes you've ever made. You've lived through 100% of the mistakes that you've already made. Okay? So consider that. All that was part of courage. You've forgotten what it was like to be courageous. So think about the thing that you want to do. Do some research. Is it going to make you feel better at the other end of this? So do a little bit of future planning. What's the worst that can happen to you? Prepare for the worst and expect the best. Okay? And I'm going to leave it there, because there is no pat answer for this. It's your willingness to take a little bit of risk, your willingness to level up to a new experience, and your willingness to have faith in yourself. You've done this before. You've just forgotten. All right? So if you're liking what I'm saying on these series of videos, don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel and to like this video. And I'm coming back with more, because we need to have a really great experience in the second half of our life. And we're talking courage, we're talking confidence, we're talking all the skill sets that you're going to need to make this thing happen for you, okay? So choose wisely out there today, and we'll see you again. Bye-bye.